Hello to everyone watching this video. I am just about to leave to go to Target because there's someone walking outside my house. I am going to pick up a Magic the Gathering pack of cards. I'm pretty sure they just come in a pack of 10. I'm just talking like the little mini ones. I don't play Magic the Gathering. I've thought about it. No, there's a squirrel outside. I've thought about it. I can never really get into the game itself. I was definitely into Pokemon. I was into like Bakugan when I was younger, but I never got into Magic. The only reason I'm really doing, or the only reason I'm really buying the Magic card set is because I want to use that as inspiration for a one-shot that I'm making. I have a friend who wants to join our D&D session, and so I'm gonna buy the Magic set, and I think I'm gonna be inspired by a lot of the fantasy elements that Magic provides. So I will cut right now and go ahead and cut to the pack when I get it. All right, so I just got back from GameStop, actually. I had to stop at GameStop because they didn't have it at the Target that I went to. So this thing was about like $4.99. It says 15 card draft booster, so I'm actually surprised that it didn't come with 10. This is Adventure Returns to Zendikar, so it's Zendikar Rising. I have no clue. I don't have any clue what magic cards are good or how to even use them. But I do know that you have to be 13 plus. I can confirm that I am 13 plus. Also, I'm never sure how to open these. I've seen a lot of people like rip the top off, which I guess is the most efficient. We'll put these aside. Here's the packaging. It looks literally the same. I'm not sure if there's a card trick that you have to do with Magic the Gathering. I know Pokemon, like you got to do like the 1, 2, 3 or whatever. Magic formats. Okay, so that's weird. So they're all in a different order. I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen. This is like a plant. So basically the goal of like even doing this in the first place is because my friend is going to do a one shot and I just need some inspiration. I need some ideas for a story that I might want to tell during this one shot. So I'm going to see what cards I get in here. Again, I'm going to look at like the fantasy elements and kind of see if I can come up with anything, see if I can come up with a story. I'll kind of go through like what I'm thinking. So I'm sure that this is just like, I'm not really sure what to do with this, but we'll keep that aside. So plant, I guess we can include in the story. It looks like we got mountain, okay. So it's just like a terrain, I guess. And then we got, ooh, dang. Omnath, the locus of creation, Jesus. That thing is cool. It's very colorful. I like that. I like the concept of like a colorful, like just big like thing. So we got these, and then we got Pilaka Predation. This is kind of sick too. It kind of looks like a spire. It kind of looks like the thing from the 4th episode of Mandalorian when they were on the ice, on like the ice planet. So that's very cool. Looks like it's attacking his face. Dang. And then we got Soaring Thought Thief. Okay, very interesting. I like the idea of like a thief in my D&D story. And then we got Relic Golem. Ooh, okay. See, I didn't even think of like these things being in like a D&D story. I've never seen golems, or at least in the games I've played. So I definitely think I can incorporate that. We got Cleansing Wildfire. That's very interesting. That's another one of like the element ones. Living Tempest. Ooh, dang. That's very, very cool. I love the artwork on these cards. I don't know, you can just tell there's a lot of time put into them. Then we got Shepherd of Heroes. Ooh, I like the wings on that one. I like the big staff. That's very, very cool. Then the next one here, we got Disenchant. Oh, so this must be like an action card or of some sort in Magic. This is kind of cool though. I like the graphic on that. And then we got Malakir Blood Priest. Dang, this thing is intense too. This would be a good, I mean, that obviously they look evil. From your veins to mine. Nice. We got this one. We got Kanzandu Nectar Pot. Interesting. I like the design of the bug on there. And then we got Demonis Skitter Sneak. Oh, it's a creature. Okay, I see that. And then Smite the Monstrous. Dang, look at that big staff. He's just blasting that thing. And we got Chilling Trap. He is chilling. Look at that, dude. He is chilling. Okay. And then we got, finally, Scavenged Blade. I like that. Okay. So let's see here. So some cards that stood out to me were the Golem. I really liked that one. And I liked the Blood Priest. And I also... which one did I really take note of, I think? I'm just trying to think of ones that are like, oh, that's cool. Okay, so I think these three, the Relic Golem, the Blood Priest, and the Locus of Creation would be like a good start for coming up with a story. So with my D&D sessions, like I usually like to start with the big idea and kind of figure out the small little details later. That's just how I figure things out as a DM. I mean, you might figure it out differently, but I like to figure out. I'm not even gonna try to straighten those. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna set those aside. So, right now with the Blood Priest, I may be thinking that it could be a sort of. I want the golems to be bad. I know that. I want the golems to have a sort of badass like aspect to them. It kind of looks like, what is that blue thing there? Is that could either be the golem eye, or I'm thinking if I'm thinking like homebrew, the Blood Priest could be the one that like controls the golem, and then there are the actual ones who steal the blood and like transport it to the Blood Priest. So that could be very cool. However, it would be a really cool twist if in the story the Blood Priest wasn't actually getting blood for themselves, they were getting blood for a different creature. Maybe this one could be bad too. At first, like, you look at this card and it's kind of like he's a good guy, but I think that possibly it could be like, oh, the Blood Priest made sort of like a dark pact with this thing, and like it was like, oh, if you can get me a physical body, like I will like help you or whatever. Just like again, just a rough idea of something a story could be. Let's actually look at the other cards now. So we got the big idea. So Blood Priest using the golems to collect blood, but its twist is it's not for himself. It's actually for this ethereal being. We'll just call him the Locus of Creation, which is actually kind of cool because of creation. So it's like creating a body. It's sort of like a Frankenstein thing. So we got the main story. Now let's see the other little cards that we got here. So I do want to look at. I like this guy, the Thief. I think that I would like him to be on our hero's side. I think it would be very. It wouldn't be ironic, but it would just be very cool that the whole idea of these people are stealing blood and this one's a thief. Perhaps it could be an NPC that tries to hurt the party at first and tries to steal things. And look at that, it even says graveyard in there. So I mean, we could have like a graveyard setting perhaps with the golems. I think that would look pretty cool to have them maybe turn from statues in the graveyard to living things. But I definitely want this character to be an NPC character and have them join the party eventually, because, you know, this guy's a thief. He knows how to steal stuff, so maybe he can help the party out somehow. So I do like this. I'm gonna set this aside for now. And like I said, I'm gonna look at the environmental cards, because that could maybe give some ideas on other settings that I would like to have. I guess not environmental, but just stuff that's not like a character card, or a monster card, I suppose. Okay, I think these are good. So, the plant. This was our first card. I'm trying to think of what that plant looks like what it would do. I mean, it would be very cool. I'm thinking of just like a sort of grown over graveyard, and they have to cut through like a lot of different like deadly plants and stuff before they get to their combat in the graveyard itself. So I'm thinking maybe this could be, I'm even looking at the background here, it could be sort of a blockade, I guess, to getting to the actual graveyard itself. So I like the idea of plants like hurting you. This kind of looks like a menacing plant, and I think an alive like forest of just plants attacking you would be very fun. So I'm actually gonna do that. So I'll set that in there. And then as for the wildfire, I don't really know if I want fire in this campaign. I just feel like it wouldn't fit the vibe of what I'm going for, which is about like blood and life and thievery. And I don't know. I just suppose that picture doesn't, I'm not really vibing with the picture right now. So we can just set that one aside. We don't really have to worry about that one for now. These bugs, these are very cool. It's the nectar pot, actually. I think I like the idea of them maybe being a leader of some sort. Maybe helping the adventurers get through the forest that I was talking about earlier. Maybe the plants that were hurting them, you can turn around and turn it into maybe this nectar that the bugs like. Maybe it could be a puzzle-like thing, with the forest being a puzzle. So I do like the idea of having that as like kind of an outage from the forest itself. So I'm gonna set those aside. And then finally the mountains. I mean, I'm kind of getting fire card vibes from these, just because like I don't really see how I could fit it into the story. I mean, of course I could eventually, but this, of course, is a one shot, and the other stuff is kind of like graveyard vibes. I want it to be very flat. I want it to be very very spooky. I guess I do kind of want a horror vibe for this one shot, because I mean, dealing with stealing blood is a very menacing topic, I suppose. So we'll just set this one aside, but we're not going to set it upside down, because maybe I can apply something to the mountains. Maybe. So set that one aside. And then here's some extra character cards. Here's the rest of them. We're just going to go through them here. So Smite the Monsters, you know, one shot. I don't know if I want a big monsters, because I feel like the big monsters are already going to be the golems, and they're already going to be the blood priest and the locus of creation. I think those are my three main enemies. And like I know this is an ability card from the looks of it, but I'm just kind of looking at the monster there and what this character is doing here. I really feel like I wouldn't really fit this into my story. It doesn't look like it matches with the vibe of it. Now this looks very cool. This looks like something that would be in again, like a graveyard sort of thing. This reminds me of a spider. I thought it was a spider when I first looked at it, but I mean, it kind of looks like a mix between a hound, like a hellhound spider thing. I know I've seen a homebrew of like a spider snake, which is almost kind of what it looks like. I mean, it kind of appears that the man is almost riding it, which is very, very cool. And look at that, it says graveyard even. And so maybe, you know, it looks like it's a creature human rogue. Let me see. Oh, okay. So maybe this could be what our thief here, like it rides. It could be the thief's locomotion around the map, and it could make transportation a little bit easier. In fact, it could make transportation a little easier around a mountain or over a mountain. We could say that the graveyard of the forest is on a certain top of a mountain, or even in a mountain, and that we need to ride the skitter sneaks to get there. And it could be like a little event in the one shot for riding these creatures, or something like something along the lines of those creatures. So, you know, I think we totally could fit the mountain in there. That just goes to show that if you have an idea and you think it's a very good idea, but it doesn't really connect with anything else, just keep the idea going, because you never know when it's going to fit in. You never know when it's going to find its own spot just naturally. Scavenged blade. See, I'm looking at that, and in my other campaign, I'm already doing a sort of found weapons aspect to it, where they have to find old weapons in their ancestry, and so I don't think I'm gonna incorporate that into my one shot. I think it would just be too much, because the whole idea, I want it to be centered about around blood and the blood priest. So if this was a large item in the actual one shot itself, then I think it would take the focus away. However, I do like the idea of finding weapons, like just to use. So for example, I think, okay, so what's going through my head right now is the adventurers could lose all of their weapons before going in the graveyard, and but then be all disappointed, and then they go in and they find these different blades that will help them, and that will almost cater to their abilities, just to make it a little more fun. So I think, you know what, I do like the scavenge blade. I do like the scavenge blade after all. I'm gonna put that kind of in the middle here, just because it's not quite by the forest, but it's not quite in the graveyard itself, or attached to the character. It's just kind of its own thing. I think they're gonna find some weapons in the graveyard. It's where people have passed. It's where these golems are being made. All right, so the Shepherd of Heroes. At first, I was thinking this can be a sort of angel character to maybe combat the devil or demon characters, the blood priest characters. But I think I want the message of the story to be that mortals can stop them too. And so I mean, I do like the idea of an angel coming in and saving them, but I think I want to keep this less ethereal, I suppose. And I do like the focus being on the thief and of course the adventurers themselves. But maybe I can save this card for inspiration for a different campaign. So I do like this card. I do like the artwork a lot, but I just don't think it's going to fit into my story. If I was writing a campaign, I would completely have this one included with all the rest of these, just because it's a good antagonist. It's a good person to rely on, but we already have that person. It's the thief in my eyes. So I'm gonna set that one aside. Palaka Predation. See, I do like this one, and it does have a very horror-like aspect to it. Perhaps this could be another creature in the forest itself. I know I said I didn't want more enemies or anything, but I mean, you never know when they're gonna try to the adventurers are going to try to dismantle your campaign, so I might have to throw some of these at them. I'm sure there's a homebrew. This reminds me of Face Clinger so much from Alien, and I'm sure there's a homebrew of something like that. So you know what? I do like the vibe of this. I do like the fog behind me, or behind here, and it makes me think of scary forest, scary jungle, scary greens. So I'm going to put this with the forest category. We're kind of getting down here. So the Chilling Trap, I'm not 100% on this one. It kind of looks like this is focused on maybe magic, or I mean, obviously it's focused on magic, but I'm just not really getting graveyard vibes from this. I'm getting very wizardly vibes. I'm not going for really that sort of one shot. I'm going for a spooky kind of horror one shot. But yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on this one. Living Tempest. Ooh, okay. You know what? This one did stand out to me. I think. This would be very cool to have a sort of a callback character. So this Tempest could maybe know what the adventurers are going to do at the beginning of the story, and sort of visit them and try to stop them just off the rip, and just all of a sudden just exit and just kind of bother them throughout the one shot and kind of make them wonder what's going on. At the same time, maybe it doesn't even have the Living Tempest. I mean, name aside, it doesn't have to be its own person. Maybe it can be a projection of the Blood Priest. It could be his form, and I could turn this purple into this deep purple into maybe a deep red to represent that blood. So I think this could maybe be the projection of the Blood Priest itself. I really like that idea, and I think I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go ahead and just put this next to it to represent that. And then it looks like we have Disenchant. See, I was a little bit thrown off, I guess, by this card, because I wasn't really sure what it was. But then now I'm reading it, and it says destroy target artifact or enchantment. And now I'm thinking again back to the big picture and figuring out the little specifics later. This could be a way to, well, win, to finish the one shot. This could be the finishing thing. Maybe the adventurers have to destroy an artifact or an enchantment. Maybe, I mean, looking back at the Blood Priest card, it actually looks like the blood priest's chest has a sort of stone to it that collects the blood. And so this could be something that the blood priest actually stole from somebody. I'm not 100% sure on the backstory on that yet, but I do like the idea of the way of beating the boss would not be to kill him, but to actually destroy his pendant. And this can be sort of hinted at throughout the one-shot itself. Just so it's a little more creative boss rather than just normal combat. It can be something that the players have to figure out. So I do like this. I'm gonna go ahead and put this up with the big idea category. So it looks like we have our one-shot here. I mean, I think it actually turned out very good. I had no clue before this what I was going to do for my one-shot, but now I think I actually have a pretty good idea. Again, I have never played Magic before, so if you're a big Magic player and I just like committed a ton of Magic the Gathering sins during this video, I apologize. But I mean, just to go over the one shot again, we start off with these cards. I really like the golem, and so I said that the priest would end up controlling the golems to collect blood as the priest does. It turns out that the priest isn't actually collecting blood for himself. It is collecting blood for the locus of creation. I'm not sure if this is an entity that the adventurers will have to combat or whether it's just going to be there in the story. However, the locus of creation wants a physical body either way. So the adventurers will eventually find out about this through the thief that meets them at some place in the story. Again, I'm not 100% win, but they find out about all these things happening from the thief, and then they actually end up riding these skitter sneaks or something along the lines over the mountains to get to the forest with the graveyard in the middle. And these different forests have different plants and such, and different pieces of nature that maybe might harm them. But also there's nature that will help them. There's nature that will lead the way. But they do have to use the plants. I am maybe planning a little puzzle for the forest. I think that would be very interesting. When they get to the graveyard itself, they're gonna find some maybe lost weapons from those deceased before. Might give a chance for some undead combat. I'm not 100%, just because I don't want the campaign to be too combat heavy, but at the same time I don't want it to be too roleplay heavy with the thief and such. It's very hard to get that balance as a DM, and I'm still working on that. But I think that the idea of them losing some of their weapons and finding a blade or a different weapon would be very, very cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just kind of going through my thought process as I'm coming up with different D&D ideas and different one-shot ideas. This is my first time doing this. This is my first time just opening a random Magic pack and seeing what fantasy elements are in and creating a story out of it. I think it went very well, and I think this is going to be a great one-shot. So thank you to everyone who is currently watching this video, and peace out.